According to the Baltimore Sun, the hackers are seeking payment in the hard-to-trace digital currency known as Bitcoin. They're offering MedStar officials a choice. Send 3 Bitcoins, which is about $1,250, to unlock a single infected computer, or 45 Bitcoins, about $18,500, to unlock all computers. This attack, known as ransomware hack, is highlighting the vulnerabilities now of hospital systems across the country. Just a month ago, a hospital in Los Angeles was forced to pay hackers about $17,000 in Bitcoin to regain control of its computer systems. CBS News Justice reporter Paula Reid is in Washington, where she's been following all the developments on this story here for us. So, Paula, what exactly is ransomware, and just how bad is this attack?
Well, Christine, ransomware infects your computer and it restricts access to your information or your files until you pay a ransom. And usually you pay that ransom in a Bitcoin because it's much harder to trace. And now this stuff has been around for a long time, about a decade. But it used to be you had to click on an infected file. Now, however, sometimes you can just go to an infected website and it will infect your computer. As for how bad this attack is, we don't have all the details. MedStar continues to be operational. They're still conducting a lot of their business. So until we have more details, we don't really know the full scale of this particular attack.
So how common, though, are attacks like this?
They're increasingly common, and that's because it works. People pay. Now, especially vulnerable are small businesses, because if you're a small business, you only have a few employees, you have that one client list. If you don't have access to that, you're apt to pay very quickly. You may be more reluctant to go to law enforcement, may not know who to go to, may worry about bad publicity. So the FBI has been adamant that people come forward as soon as this happens, because they're increasingly aggressive strains that they're continuing to see.
MedStar has not publicly confirmed that this was a ransomware attack, but the evidence suggests that it is. So why would they not want to acknowledge that?
Again, there are a lot of reasons that you don't necessarily want to come forward and acknowledge that you have been the victim of ransomware. You don't want to expose your own vulnerabilities. You certainly do not want to encourage copycats. But in this case, I will say that MedStar has tweeted out a lot of updates. They say they continue to be operational, and they say that even just 48 hours after this virus infected their systems, that they were able to get several parts of their system back up and running. So they have been more forthcoming than other businesses who have been victims of similar ransomware.
How does, though, a medical facility, how are they able to operate without access to its records?
It's a great question. It certainly poses lots of operational challenges. Now, MedStar did say that within 48 hours, they were able to reestablish some of their systems. And they also tweeted out a few statistics that I think give you a sense of how well they're able to conduct their operations. They say they've been able to treat about 3,000 patients a day in their 10 hospitals. Over 2,400 people went to the emergency department, almost 800 surgeries, and 72 babies. Ransomware cannot stop babies from being born. No. So it seems though, even though they have some operational problems, they're still able to carry out most of their primary missions.
No, when the baby's ready, Paula, it's coming. There's no doubt about that. The FBI, we do know, is investigating, but really, what can the agency do?
The most important thing for the FBI is to be able to identify these new aggressive strands of ransomware, of any sort of virus like this, so they can hopefully be able to disable it. In the past, about 2 years ago, they were able to take down one called Crypto. That was a highly sophisticated ransomware, and that was considered a huge victory for the FBI to be able to disable that had really been plaguing lots of businesses and individuals across the country and across the world. But going forward, Christine, this is the new frontier for criminal conduct, is cyber, and ransomware is increasingly a concern for federal and state law enforcement.
Paula Reid in Washington. Thanks, Paula.